Yo, Earth is flat and the sun and the moon moves here like lights. And today I want to use something tangible, something that happens yearly to explain to you. That is ocean tides. Ocean tides. Now, right now we are having a low tide. It's morning hapo saa 4 at 10 in the morning. That is low tide. The ocean is right there. It has gone far away. That's a low tide. During high tide, during this season, the ocean water reaches here. It reaches here, where you see this. This is where the waters had reached yesterday. That is when the sun is in the south. During the month of from September, October, November, December, January, the highest place the ocean can reach is here. I've been observing this. Is here, right here. This line. This is the highest point that the ocean can reach. That is when the sun is in the south. When the sun is in the southern zodiac sign. When the sun is in the north, the highest point that the ocean do reach is right here, where you see these plants. Hii ni mwezi wa saba, mwezi wa sita. When the sun goes north, the highest point the ocean tides do reach is right here. The ocean reaches up to here. That's why there's this wall, and the ocean reaches up to on top of this wall. It's a very big wall, and during high tide the ocean do reach up to the top of it, and the water flips over. That is when the sun is in the north. When the sun is in the north, mwezi wa sita, mwezi wa tano, mwezi wa sita, mwezi wa saba, maji nafika hadi huko. The ocean waters do reach up to here, up here. It reaches up to here. That is during high tide. High tide happens every day. 6 hours high tide, 6 hours low tide. 6 hours, that is how it happens. But during the month of May, June, July, the waters do reach here. That is when the sun is in the north. When the sun goes back to the zodiac signs in the north. When the sun is in the south, the highest tide that can be achieved is the ocean waters do reach here. Right here where I'm pointing. Now, do you see how the sun affects the tide? In as much as every day we have a high tide and a low tide, but the highest tide is during the month of June, July, April, May, June. That is, it starts from April. That is the highest tide, where the waters reaches up to where there are those green plants. These green plants have grown because the sun has been in the south. When the sun reaches north, the ocean will wipe them out, and then they will regrow again. But when the sun is in the south, the farthest the ocean water can reach is here where I am. This is the farthest the ocean water can reach. While every day at the same time, when the moon rises when there is high tide, and then the waters goes back. So the sun and the moon do control. So from that apparent observation, it is clear that the sun and the moon do control the rising and falling of tides. And it cannot do that if it is a million miles away. The sun is just up here in the sky. That's why it has influence on the ocean tides. When it is in the north, it pulls the water much than when it is in the south. Same with the moon. The moon itself controls the tide every day. When the moon is rising, it rises. As it starts rising, the tide becomes high, and then it goes back again. When it's falling, also when it's in the middle of the sky, we have a low tide. When it's going to fall in the west, another high tide. That is the sun and the moon controlling the tides. These two great luminaries cannot do that if they are far away as per science. They only do that when they are near, and they have the capacity to pull because they are electromagnetic. Because this ocean water has got electrolytes. And when it has electrolytes, and the moon and the sun are electromagnetic, the sun is electric, the moon is magnetic, electromagnetic, they have the capacity to pull those waters, electromagnetism. It is electromagnetism that works here, not gravity. Electromagnetism, density, buoyancy, weight. So through electromagnetism, the sun and the moon pulls the ocean tide depending on the zodiac signs in which they are and depending on the gates that they do cross according to the book of luminaries, the book of Enoch. You really need to read this book. You really need to read this book because the earth is flat and the luminaries are above. And the moment the whole world will accept this fact and know that there is God above us all, then you Christians who are waiting for Jesus, he will come back. Additionally, now this one is to Christians. You are always waiting for Christ, and anytime there's earthquake somewhere, you say, oh, those are signs of time. Like you have famous preachers who is always preaching. You know him, he has even a beard. He has put a ring on his beard. He looks very cool. I like his beard, by the way. You always say, oh, the world is ending, the world is ending. When you see something earthquake or in the world is ending. Yet Jesus himself told us that there will be signs in the heavens. There will be signs in the heavens, the heavens. Do you look at the heavens? Do you look at the stars? Do you know how they move? Because the greatest sign that will be there will be the change in the movement of the stars or formation of new stars. That's why we were told that stars will fall and new ones will arise. So the signs will be in heaven. So if you are somebody who is waiting for the second coming of Christ or the coming of Christ or the rapture, you should be looking at the stars. You should understand them. You should know where they rise and they fall, so that whenever there will be any change, you will be aware that there are changes in the sky and the time of end is near. I've told you not once, not twice, not thrice, that the sky is a clock. The sky is a clock. And when things changes in the clock above, you will know the signs of the time. There will be signs in the heaven. This is Jesus. This is not me. There will be signs in the heavens. And when you look at the heavens, what you see is luminaries. So you need to know the path of the sun. When the sun changes its path, you will know that there's a problem. You need to know the paths of the moon. When they change, you'll know that there's a problem. You need to know the path of the stars, where the stars are, where they arise and where they fall. So that when there is a new star, you will know that, oh, there's a problem. And that is why when the wise men who are following the path of the stars and knew where they are and their movement saw a new bright star in the heavens, they knew that Christ was born. And the Jewish people who were religious, who were so religious and were unable to look at the cycles, oh, you ni uchawi usiangalie, it's witchcraft, don't look at them. Using them for negative magic is what uchawi is, but looking at them and enjoying creation, that is not witchcraft. Look at them, enjoy them, trace their path, know how they move. So those wise men, when they saw the changes in the star, they knew that the Savior was born. Yet Herod and the Pharisees and the Sadducees, people who are always busy reading the books, interpreting the law, focused on keeping the law, they were not aware. They were shocked because they disalign from Enoch. Reconnect with Enoch. Read the book of our great ancestor Enoch, because this book has got secrets of the sign of the things that are happening down here. Be it that you are religious, not religious. If you're curious, go read these books of Enoch. Be that you are a Muslim, you are a Christian, you are a Buddhist, whichever religion you are, be it a religion that you pray with your head down and your tail up, go read these books. Be it a religion that you drink with the skull of human beings like those idiots, go read these books and you will find the truth of the universe, the vibration, the stars, the plants, their connection to heavens, to God and everything. Let me tell you something. When I was in a very strong Christian, I thought that God sometimes he neglected some things, because Christianity does not explain a lot of things. I was a Christian then. But when I read these books, I just realized that it is religion that denied us knowledge. It is religion that denied us knowledge. And it is through knowledge that we gain the Spirit. That's why Jesus walked with his disciples for over 3 years. He had to teach them. He had to teach them these things. Yet the disciples were brought up in a Jewish society with the laws of Moses and everything. But Jesus still had to reteach them for over 3 years, because religion denies you knowledge. And when you do not have knowledge, you will perish. You will perish. It is written in your books. It is written in your holy books, Quran, Bible. If you do not have knowledge, you will perish. So seek knowledge and gain wisdom. Have a beautiful day as you think about these things.